Hello, welcome back a new lesson. Today we will make a famous example of how to use nested for loops. If you ask it to draw this shape, a pyramid, a pyramid of 7 rows and 7 columns, starts with 1 star and ends with 7 stars. Let's explain what we will need. If we will find the shape, we will see there at first there is 7 stars. So the last row contains 7 stars with no spaces. First row should contain spaces and 1 star. Okay, but at the first glance we found that the shape is not as we want. Okay, let's add spaces between the last row. Okay, this is 6 spaces and 1 star. The next row should be 5 spaces and 2 stars. Don't forget the spaces. The second row should be 4 spaces and 3 stars. Fourth row should 3 spaces and 4 stars. Fifth, 2 spaces and 5 stars. We started to draw the shape. 1 space and 6 stars. That should be 7 stars. That's our desired shape. So we will make 2 for loops. First 4 will be responsible for rows. Second 4 will be responsible for columns. The relation between spaces and the stars, as we see in first row, we found 6 spaces, 1 star. Second row, 5 spaces, 2 stars. Then when we move down in columns, the spaces get less and we print more stars. Okay, let's see this on our code. First we'll make n equal 7 rows and 7 columns. Okay, first 4 that responsible for column, 4 rows in range n will print as we see in our shape. We start with spaces. So the first thing we will print is space. How many of spaces? We will multiply this with n minus I minus 1, because at first n would be with 7 and I will be 0. So 7 minus 0 minus 1, it will give me 6 spaces. The next loop will be with the value of 1. So 7 minus 1 would be 5, and so on. It will be a first row 6 spaces, second row 5 spaces, third row 4 spaces, and so on and so forth. Don't forget to make the end equal empty to not to move to another row. Okay, now we'll get the 4 for the column. N plus, sorry, I plus 1. Why we make it I plus 1? So in first row we need 1 star. In first row the I will be with 0. So when we add 1, the J will be for 1. 1 contains the value of 1 and will draw 1 star. The next loop, the I will be with 1, number 1. When we add 1 to I, J will be with 2. Then it will print 2 stars, and so on and so forth. Will print star, and don't forget the space after star. And we'll make int equal to not draw in another row. After that we'll make an empty print to move to the next row. Let's save. Let's run the file. It give me the shape we want, the pyramid of stars. This classic exercise that show how to use nested for loops or for loop in general. Thank you and keep following us. Goodbye.